Imagine you're sitting in the doctor's office and they wrap the blood pressure cuff around you, around your arm, and it tightens. And then it reads 168 over, let's say 96. And instantly your brain goes, okay, is that bad? And if it is, which number is actually the problem? Okay, now for years, medicine didn't really have a clear answer on this. But now we do. So today I'm going to run you through exactly what those two numbers mean, systolic, diastolic, and which one actually matters the most, okay? And which one could be quietly warning you that something is wrong long before hopefully you feel it, okay? What blood pressure actually is. Blood pressure is simply a force of blood pushing against your artery wall, okay? The top number, called systolic, is the pressure when your heart contracts and it pushes blood out, okay? Now think of it like turning on a tap. That initial surge of water, the bottom number now is called diastolic, okay? It's the pressure when your heart relaxes and it refills. That's the background pressure in the system when nothing is actively actually pumping, okay? Now, of course, they both matter, but they rise for different reasons. What doctors used to think, though, for a long time, doctors believed that diastolic blood, it was the only number that really mattered, okay? And the thinking was systolic naturally goes up with age, hereditary. So unless it's extremely high, don't worry about it, we'll go on medication. Now, diastolic pressure, the lower one, on the other hand, was seen as a true indicator of heart health. So that's what they treated. But over the last sort of several years, research has completely flipped that thinking. Now, here's why systolic blood pressure matters. Systolic hypertension is now most common type of high blood pressure, especially in people over 50. Okay, now I guess the reason why is because as we age, our arteries, they sort of stiffen. They lose elasticity, okay, like a rubber band that no longer sort of snaps back, okay? And if you add in things like insulin resistance, heart valve issues, years of stress, inflammation, overweight, the systolic pressure starts to climb. And when systolic blood pressure stays high, it significantly increases your risk of, you know the damage, heart attacks, strokes, chest pain, kidney damage. Right, now this isn't rare, this is extremely common. Okay, 1 in 2 people get this over 50, by the way. Now, I mean, you're probably wondering, why is diastolic pressure always, so dangerous? Why is it so dangerous? Now, here's the part most people never really hear. High diastolic blood pressure can be just as dangerous, especially in people under 50, okay? Because constant pressure when the heart is supposed to be resting weakens the attura, okay, the main artery in your body. That artery runs from your chest right down through to your abdominal and supplies blood to your lower body. Okay, so over time, diastolic pressure can cause part of that artery it to weaken and it start to bulge. Okay, when that bulges, it's called abdominal aortic aneurysm. I forgot that right. And your pituitaries can be fatal. Okay, that's why doctors routinely screen men over 65, especially those who've ever smoked, drunk, for this exact problem. Okay. By the way, if you're looking for a preventive strategy to reduce your high blood pressure, go to the description below in the comments, watch the video on how we've helped 3,000 plus men like yourself. Okay. And if it hits the nail, you can comply. There's an application there and you can run for it if you feel that video sort of suits you. Okay. Now back to the content. Easy way to understand it is basically think about blowing up a balloon. Okay. At first it stiffens. All right. Then it stretches. So then the walls get thinner, and they get thinner. Eventually, it pushes air and it bursts, right? It's exactly what uncontrolled diastolic pressure does inside your body, right? So which number matters more? Here's kind of the real answer, okay? They both matter for different reasons. High systolic pressure increases your risk of a heart attack, a stroke, CKD, which is kidney damage, okay? A high diastolic pressure increases your risk of blood vessel damage, okay? Long-term arterial weakening. Now, the big shift in medicine is this. We actually no longer ignore systolic blood pressure or blame it on age or hereditary, okay? In fact, today they often prioritize lowering the systolic pressure first. Now, the part most people don't really realize is even if your blood pressure is controlled with medication, your risk is actually still higher than someone who never actually had blood pressure, right? So one large study showed a 30-year-old with high blood pressure has a 63% lifetime risk of heart disease, okay? Someone with normal blood pressure, all right, 46%. Now, that's a big gap, isn't it, okay? Medication helps, papers over the cracks, but it doesn't fix the root cause. It's a temporary fix, so you get comfortable. What actually lowers blood pressure long term is, real improvement comes from better food choices, especially potassium-rich foods, okay? Magnesium, strength training, okay? Especially strength training, managing stress, sleeping, okay? Now, if you do this consistently, okay, even one of these done can shift the numbers, okay? Stack them all together and it can really change dramatically, okay? And you start feeling better, more energy, cognitively start feeling better, all right? Now, that's pretty much all I have for you today. Now, you can subscribe to the channel and watch one of these videos per week, and you'll soon start to learn how you can fix high blood pressure, come off medication, and live a risk-free life. So smash the subscribe button and tune in for the next video. Appreciate it, guys.